Hello and welcome to Lunchtime Discourse on Vanguard Live. I'm Damlola Ogunshakin. Joining me today to discuss is Jane Kimemia Nechi. She is the Chief Executive Officer, Optiva Capital Partners, and former Executive Director and Head of Wealth Management and Standard Chartered East Africa Region. Good afternoon, Jane.
Good afternoon, Damilola.
Thank you for joining me today. All right, let us discuss about Optiva Capital Partners. Can you tell me about the company itself?
Okay, thank you very much for having me this afternoon. So Optiva Capital Partners, we are a wealth management and investment advisory business with three areas of specialization or focus. Wealth management and investment advisory, number one, and that is basically simply working with our clients on protecting, on growing and enhancing their wealth. Number two, immigration investments or acquisition of permanent residency or second citizenship in a number of jurisdictions. And number three, insurance business. So that is who we are. We are located, we're a Churchgate house. That's where our head office is in Lagos. And we are distributed across different offices in Lagos, in Abuja, and in the East Africa region as well.
So how long has it been running?
Optiva Capital Partners has existed for about 22 years, going to 23. Started out as an insurance business, and over time we have evolved into a fully fledged wealth management business. So yes, we've been in business for about 23 years, consolidated.
Okay. So, how will you elevate the Nigerian approach, towards Optiva Capital various the wealth management package?
You asked about wealth management packages.
Yeah.
Really, we are a solution provider.
Okay.
Wealth management as a business or a practice is really about providing solutions to clients. It's not about pushing products. So we speak about specific tailoring bespoke solutions to individuals, to families. So how will we elevate this in the Nigerian space? It's what we are doing. We've got we've got the distribution in terms of people, that's the sales executives, the relationship management teams. And that means that every day there are conversations with clients across board, across the sales executive teams, relationship management teams, the senior executive teams as well. So really it's conversation, it is client meetings, it is understanding really how we continue to provide solutions to our clients to safeguard their wealth and their financial future, and really being able to build wealth across generations. So really it's one-on-one, it's individual conversations across board that are happening in every shop, every opportunity for client engagement.
Okay, so you said you provide solutions. Now, how are Nigerians reacting to the company itself?
Absolutely. When you talk about solutions, and I will speak about our commitment to our clients in terms of our investment philosophy. So, to work with our clients on protecting because we are responding to a need that already exists. So, whether it's on wealth management or investment products, people want to safeguard their value, the wealth that they wake up every day to go and work on. Your thing, how well preserved is your wealth? What instruments, how well diversified are you? Are you leveraging on the opportunities that exist, the different financial instruments or asset classes globally? Because we are a bridge to investment opportunities across different geographies and across different asset classes. So how well, you asked about reacting, because it's a need. We all want if I ask you a question, is your wealth really working for you? What are your financial goals? These are very important discussions. Is your financial future secure? Are you going to be able to take care of your children's education? And if you are, how better can we work with you on enhancing your position? So the response has been great, because when you talk about wealth or investments or financial security, it is in every person's, agenda. That's why we wake up every day to go to work and, and fed for our families. So it's been really good response.
Okay, so I'm sure you have so many success stories. Can you just tell us one?
There are many success stories. I'll talk about specifically on the investment immigration. You're sort of middle income to high net worth, or the ultra high net worth sort of Nigerian family. You have you have children abroad, or you have an aspiration that your children are going to go to school abroad. Some of them right from high school. So that means that you want to be strategic about, whether they're going to go to school into the US or into Canada. So under these programs, these are some of the success stories of saying you will be paying your cost of education as a permanent resident. Then that means that you are going to actually make a huge savings paying as a permanent resident of these particular jurisdictions, as opposed to being an international student. So there are very many success stories of really formalizing their status in terms of, the status in these countries, and that's for their, better standards of living, for your children's education, for business opportunities and investment opportunities. So I talk about different success stories depending on what clients' needs are. When it comes to investments as well, when you ask the question, is your money really working for you? And I go back to one of my favorite quotes by Robert Kiyosaki that says, it's not about how much money you make. It is how much money you keep. It is how hard your money works for you and how many generations you keep it for. That is what we are about. Really helping their clients to sweat their assets, to get a better return on their investments. And this is every day, every conversation. So there are very many successes. So saying my money was sitting in a bank deposit, it was not earning me anything, into transitioning that into financial assets and portfolios that clients will build and guarantee them, first of all, security of their capital and a return on their investments. So that's our day-to-day, that's everyday conversation.
So what have been the highlights of your journey, in the financial and insurance sectors?
The journey is still on. This is obviously a lot of work in terms of establishment, in terms of really working with the teams on bringing them up to, a good level of understanding, because this space, the wealth management space, requires, it's experience, it's understanding of the opportunities that exist. So some of the highlights is really working with the teams and seeing their profile grow from just beginning or joining us, and grow in terms of training, in terms of their confidence to be able to engage and to be able to actually work with our clients on educating them on the various investment opportunities, across different geographies, across different currencies. So the key highlight for us is really the solutions we continue to provide through our teams across board, the solutions, the difference we make in families, in terms of their wealth, in terms of their preservation, in terms of their current needs for children's education, for really gaining, whether it's global citizenship. So the highlight for us, it's every client, every opportunity. It really is transformational sort of conversations you're having. So it's not necessarily, there's one big thing that happened. It is actually in everyday conversation. It's providing solutions. It's when our clients are satisfied with our services, when we look back and know that we are making a difference, that our work is of impact and significance in people's lives.
Okay, COVID-19 pandemic, it's affected a lot of businesses in Nigeria and across the world. And so, how's operation been in the midst of this COVID-19 at Optiva Capital?
Basically, I mean, in this, if you look at the basic sectors of the economy, people have still needed to go to school through COVID-19. Life never stopped. We just readjusted to a new reality. And we are grateful that we have continued to grow, because when you're in sectors of the economy that are basic, we are in financial services, we are in providing solutions to families on their children's education, on their travel, on their quality of life, on health. So we have continued to see growth because there's obviously a readjustment in terms of the programs, but generally we have continued to grow even during the pandemic because the needs continued, the needs for better chances for our children, the need, and I think more than ever, I think the realization of the need to safeguard financial futures, to take care of the wealth that so many of our clients have worked so hard to build. That should anything happen, how secure are you? How secure are the instruments or assets into which you've actually packed your wealth? Have you thought really carefully about, can your money work better for you? So I think for us, it's been really positive because it's been a time of people reassessing their financial goals, their futures. Are they secure for generations to come? So should anything happen, so it's been positive for us because we are in the real sectors where they have continued to need our services in terms of planning on their investment goals, on their children's education, on further safeguarding their financial future. So we have continued to grow during this spaces, during COVID-19 as well.
Okay, so people interested in getting your services, how can they get to you, reach out to you?
Okay, we've got a number of offices across. Our head office is at Churchgate House. We are in Tower 2. We've got a number of offices. So this is Lagos, Victoria Island. So this is our head office. We've got a number of offices across in Lagos as well. We are on Pan Ocean Building. Down on the Nechi Expressway, we've got an office on Chevron Drive, that is Kappa House. We've got an office at Prime Mall. Yes, so we've got a division across. In Abuja, our offices in Maitama. So we've got a good distribution, and they can reach us through any one of our offices.
Also, quickly, I would like you to quickly talk about Everlasting Foundation and its activities.
Okay, Everlasting Foundation is a non-profit. It's not for profit organization that we founded back in 2018. And really it was the call of, first of all, to young people. And when we started out, I was actually looking at young adult girls. Young adults, basically teenage and young adults. And in a specific setting, because this started out actually within Kibera. Kibera is one of the biggest slums in sub-Saharan Africa. So we started that out to just give the girls a hope and a place to go to. So it had 3 pillars. First of all, looking at their spirituality. Number 2, just giving them a sense of purpose and mentorship, belonging to a circle of other right thinking and being able to really direct their thinking, their ambition, their self-belief, to be able to know that, we may be young, maybe their circumstances have been really difficult, but they have the ability to achieve their goals in life, to achieve their full potential. So it was around their spirituality, so that they have a true north, an anchor they can actually hold on. Number 2, it's around mentorship, both from mentors within the industry and peer mentorship, which is very, very strong. Peer mentorship is a sense of accountability to each other. that I'm not on my own. I belong to an organization that looks out for me, that my well-being, the decisions I make, the choices. And number 3 was support. Really, actual support, because these are young girls who come from families that got needs, whether it's sometimes even food. So we have feeding programs, we have distribution of sanitary pads, we have distribution of various, school supplies. So it has continued to grow. It really grew from an initial sort of gathering, would bring together about 50 girls, has continued to grow into full membership. And not only girls, actually the boys have taken on the leadership, and there's a real sense of belonging. These are people who meet every week. There's a place that Everlasting Foundation offices has become home, a second home to a lot of them. And then they will meet every Sunday. So we invite different mentors who come in and will know different topics of conversation, then to guide them even in terms of career, their choices, their options. So that has continued to grow into a membership of well over 500 consistent, young adults. Some of them would be in their teenage years, or some of them are in their early 20s. Then also some of them have already, maybe the choices they made haven't worked out for them. There were a lot of young teenage mothers or young adults, and it's for them, they're looking for a source of livelihood, to really get back on their feet. So it's been very gratifying to see it grow. There's still so much more work to do, but I think it's really been, just looking back and seeing, first of all, their sense of ownership, the sense of belonging, they all derive from being members of the foundation. And obviously the work is immense, continues to grow. We're looking at what we're doing in the Nigerian space as well. So it's just the beginning of a lot of the, foundational work that was started with Everlasting.
Okay, so you talked about the Nigerian space. Now, is this only in Africa or across the world? It's in Africa,
because this is where the need has been. You realize that a lot of what we do is really, it's identifying needs in the society and being able to address those. So yes, we've got a number of support groups and interested parties that come in to support, but really a lot of it in terms of the activities, the target reach, and basically the fundraising activities when it comes to supporting the various activities is really within what we do. It's within what we do. We don't have any international organizations that have keyed into these as yet. It's really been what we can do with what we've got in the meantime.
Okay, so we have many Nigerian children in some parts which are not the slums, and some of them need help and all that. So how can they get the help from the foundation?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of work that we're going to be discussing. There's a lot of community-based initiatives. But I think for us, the biggest community initiative when it comes to the Nigerian space is, if you look at our base of employees from different walks of life. So but when it comes to really just looking back into the society, these are plans that we have. I will be discussing that in our future engagements, but we are very passionate about our impact in the society that we operate in, and being able to, it's not giving back. People call it giving back, but really it's I just feel like it's not a choice, it's a duty, it's a responsibility, is because we are who we are, because there are people who've been put into our lives, and then it's our responsibility as well to lift others. So there's a lot of work we could discuss in our future engagements, but quite a lot that is in the pipeline as far as community engagement, further community engagement is concerned.
Okay, thank you very much, Jane Kimemia Nechi, for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the conversation.
Thanks a lot. And we've been with Jane Kimemia Nechi. She's the Chief Executive Officer, Optiva Capital Partners, and former Executive Director and Head of Wealth Management, Standard Chartered East Africa Region. And also, she also spoke about the activities of Everlasting Foundation. So, of course, if you're just joining us, you can always go back to watch the videos and also follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on our YouTube channel. You can also get more of our top stories on our website, and that's www.vanguardngr.com. I'm Damilola Okunshaki, and that's all on Lunchtime Discourse.